what's up, Huckers? It's Big Country here, and we're back with another disc review. I know it's been a while since Hucking Ace has had any videos, but, winter's coming to an end, even here in Colorado, although there is a snowstorm outside. So we're going to be back into it. Our disc that we're reviewing today is the Reptilian Disc Golf Stego, like Stegosaurus. It is supposedly the most overstable disc ever. It was a prototype originally by Gateway, and RDG bought the rights to the mold, and now they're making them as the Stego. They've only had one run release so far, but it sold out right away, so they'll probably do another one. And I actually got two Stegos to compare. Now, these were original prototypes by Gateway, so there is some differences in the actual discs. This one is a nice reddish orange color. I don't know if it comes out well on camera, but you can see it's got a beaded bottom, and then this little thumb track thing here on the top is actually a spoiler. So instead of having a thumb track like a Scale or a Rhino or a Bang & Groove top, it's basically got a second bead on top of the disc, if that makes any sense. So this one that I have, this reddish orange one, really cool RDG stamp. They always got awesome stamps. This disc is super chalky, probably the chalkiest Gateway disc I've ever held, and I have had a lot of them. I almost had to check my hands to see if there was talcum powder or something, because this is so chalky. This is also the stiffer of the two. The flight plate is actually pretty thin, like every other RDG disc. So that's, it's just something. And it's super, super, super flat. It's so flat it's almost concave. Like if you ever thrown the good ESP and Pro G zones that are like concave like that, that's kind of how this one is. But the flight plate's thinner, so it's not quite as visible. Anyway, 174. Now this other one I have, the yellow one, it's actually got some grayish greenish swirl to it. I don't know if that comes out on camera very well, probably not. And this one feels like a totally different type of plastic. Again, all it says in the back is Proto, so RDG isn't saying if maybe this is some Fossil or some Chalk RFF or some Armor or whatever it is. They're not saying, because these are just the prototypes. But this one feels quite a bit like Evo plastic. It does have a little bit of chalkiness to it. It seems, and it just feels like it's going to be more durable than that red one. In this one, it's extremely stiff on the rim, so it's actually stiffer on the rim than that other chalky one, but everywhere else it's super flexible. So that's why I said the reddish orange one was just stiffer all around. In this one, it's got good grip. I really like it. It almost feels like a crayon. If you ever run your finger across like a crayon drawing. That's what this yellow one feels like. And it's got I guess we'll call it a dome. It's got a slight rise to it. It's not super flat like the other one. So I got out and threw these a little bit today, and I can say I don't know necessarily if it's the most overstable disc ever, but it's at least as overstable as anything I've ever thrown. I'll explain a little more when we get out to the field, but it actually gets more overstable the harder you throw it. Something to do with the spoiler on top. So, all right, let's get over this logo animation, and then let's get out there. We're going to throw these in the field, and then we're going to throw them against a Zone and a Scale and a Moab, and you'll see how ridiculous this disc is. And, yeah, we're going to go out there at Cumberland Green. We're going to try and sink an ace. We want to be the first one to ace with the Stego. Even if it's a cubby ace, we're still going to count it. All right, stick around. All right, we're out here in the field. It's a nice sunny day, but we do have a slight amount of headwind. We've got our two Stegos here, and we've got a whole stack of discs we're going to be testing them against. To give you guys a point of reference, you can see the concrete pad behind me. That's about 240 feet downhill into a slight headwind.
The road beyond that's about 410 feet, and there's a tree right in the middle that's right at 300 feet. So we're going to throw these, we're going to throw them a little bit downhill, and we're going to see how it goes. Woo, look at that baby go. So as I said in the intro video, Stego is almost hilariously overstable. You guys saw on one sidearm I kind of kissed that concrete pad down there, which again is not that far. And then on actually the thumber, it turned into a crazy roller that went 50, 60 feet past that, so about 300. Other than that, I mean, these were just well short. And actually, the crazy thing about this is the harder you throw it, the more it hooks up and the quicker it hooks up. That is a demonstrated fact. So now we're going to do a shootout against a Discraft Zone, Prodigy A1, an Innova Viper, a Heiserbomb Moab, and 2 Reptilian Disc Golf scales, and we're going to see how they do. The cool part about this Stego is that both of these discs, even though the plastic blends are different, the doming level is different, and the inside of the rim's a little different, this one's a little warped, they fly exactly the same. So that's good. It means I don't have to throw 2 Stegos for every one shootout disc. So let's get to the shootout and see how some comparisons work. If you've been following our Facebook page and our YouTube videos, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of the Reptilian Disc Golf scale. It's one of my favorite discs in the past couple years. So we've got 2 of them here. What we have is, this is just a regular fossil fuel scale versus this Stego, and then we have an Armor Flex scale against the other Stego. So let's see how they do. First, the scale. Now the Armor Flex scale, which is a little less overstable than that fossil fuel. So as you saw there, the scales went noticeably farther and were noticeably less overstable. And the scale is, before the Stego, RDG's most overstable putter. So I was able to get that Armor Flex about 300 and the fossil fuel about 250, but the Stegos again fell well short of that. Next up in the shootout, we have the Discraft Zone. This is in their new ZFLX plastic, which is really cool stuff. If you're into Discraft molds. I'm pretty comfortable forehanding a zone. I've thrown zones off and on over the years. So we're going to try forehand zone, forehand orange Stego. So even though I kind of messed up that zone throw, threw it a little too low, it landed the same spot as the Stego. But if you notice, the Stego got quite a big skip there at the end, which pushed it a little bit farther past the zone. Next, we got a disc that I'm pretty unfamiliar with. This is a Prodigy A1. Yeah, I got this from our friends over at Infinite Discs. It's kind of domey. It's supposed to be very, very overstable. Yeah, I don't know much about it. I've thrown it a couple times just farting around in the field. So we're going to try little flex shots against this and our other Stego. So if you saw there, the Prodigy A1 fought out of the flex pretty quick, but putting that little bit of anhyzer on it was enough to push it a good distance. It's probably 20 feet past that concrete pad, whereas the Stego fought out instantly and then hooked up instantly. No flex at all. The next disc in our shootout is a good old DX Innova Viper. Viper's been a good disc to me over the years. I don't bag it anymore, but I've bagged it off and on, and I actually started throwing this disc way back in my sophomore year of high school. I'm about to turn 33 this summer, so you do the math. So what we're going to do this time is, if you guys saw when we tried the thumber, it turned into a roller. So we're actually going to try a tomahawk, which is not my forte. I'm better with a thumber, but we'll try a tomahawk against this here Stego, and we're going to see which one goes farther. We're going to see, we're going to try and flip them flat and try and let them cruise. Well, that was interesting. The Viper hit that tree, which is on the back side of that concrete pad. Remember I said that concrete pads are on 240, and that pad's probably 20 feet wide. So it was around 260 when it hit, and it was still going. The Stego landed on its edge and rolled way past it, almost to that cow retaining fence over there. There's a rodeo ground over there, which I would say, I mean, it was easily past 300. I'm going to walk it off, but I'm going to assume it's probably around 320 to 330. Keep in mind, again, that was downhill, but where it landed, it was starting to flatten out. The terrain was, so keep that in mind. The last disc in the shootout is the Hyzerbomb Moab. This is in the Recon plastic. Nice little flag stamp there, like I like. This is a really cool disc. So back in the day, Millennium modified the Viper and called it the Tachyon. So this is similar to a Tachyon, but in their champion style plastic known as Recon. My father still throws Tachyons in certain situations. But this thing, the Moab, stands for Mother of All Bombs. So it's very, very overstable. We're going downhill. We're just going to throw flat, but we're going to throw it out wide. See how far it hooks up against this here Stego. Alright, I think I'm getting the hang of this Stego. You saw the Moab sailed well past our concrete pad there and kind of skimmed off the tree, which we said was around 300. The Stego, I got it right at the beginning of that concrete pad, and it skipped off pretty hard. So that's probably my farthest backhand throw I've got so far of the Stego. And again, you guys need to keep in mind with these Stegos, I'm throwing these downhill, which means flat, who knows, 40, 50, maybe 60 feet less. This is hilarious, but I, right now, can't see a use in my bag for it. That's why next, we're going to Cumberland Green, we're going to throw a few holes, we'll see how they perform in a field type situation, and not in a field type situation.